Hey, good afternoon. Tom Stewart here. I am with Mike Callahan of Simple Growth, and we have some news to share with you today. How's it going, Mike?
Awesome, Tom. Thanks for inviting me in here. I know we've got some really exciting news to announce. Your team, my team, and it seems like everybody in between has been working really hard over the last probably 2.5, 3 months. So I'll let you do the honors because your team has done one heck of a job here, and kind of what we've been doing behind the scenes here for the Made Central user base.
Thank you, Mike. We've have developed a number of different automations and campaigns within Made Central over the years that allow you to market to your leads and customers in an automated way. That being said, that's not really our superpower at Made Central. You know, we do a lot of scheduling, dispatching. We kind of bring everything under one umbrella to run your whole cleaning company in Made Central. But we figured out that it would make more sense. We've got a lot of users on Made Central that really want to get, deeply into very sophisticated automations. In order to do that, we figured that we needed to integrate with a product that was capable of doing that and work with somebody who's a subject matter expert on how to do that. And we did. We reached out to Mike. We've been talking for a while, and his team at Simple Growth worked with us at Made Central, and we built an integration so where Made Central users can basically talk back and forth to keep in a very efficient way and leverage all of the campaign features that Mike's company builds within that platform.
Thanks, Tom. Couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, believe it or not, we actually back obviously before QDS in February in San Diego, but that's when the conversation really started. And we saw the ability to work together and actually bring this in here. As we were talking before the show, Tom, we've got probably 12 or 15 users that had used our services on other platforms and different CRMs and have moved over to the enterprise version of cleaning that Made Central brings. So we're really excited to be able to continue to service those clients now and the existing people. But what we're really talking about is the webinar that we're going to be doing tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern, where Tom and I have a private webinar. We're going to be putting the link in the actual Facebook Live here. You can sign up. But really what the idea of the webinar is not necessarily to sell anything that we put together. Is just to give you an executable roadmap, how to automate your cleaning business, literally from lead acquisition off your website or somebody calls, all the way through the whole entire process of upselling and getting everything in the database. And as Tom mentioned, we've created a sync through an API, which basically connects two different softwares together so they can talk. And we've connected the automations now with the power features of Made Central. And if you're a Made Central user, Tom and the team have already done a great job, which you're well aware of some of the more basic automations. So what we've done is built upon those and built complementary automations from our Sales 3 and Sales 3 Plus automations. And it's going to be a completely done-for-you model if it's something you're looking to do. Complete with proven concepts that have been done and performed with hundreds of cleaning companies, complete with turnkey marketing that can be customized. So a lot of the stumbling blocks, as Tom, as you're well aware of, when we go to build out automations or marketing copy, a lot of time the business owner, the business team doesn't have time to actually go out and physically come up with marketing copy. And on top of that, there's a lot of questions around what's the best practice? How many times do you reach out? In what timing? Should it be an email? Should it be a text message? Should maybe it be a phone call? So what we've done is overdoing this with A/B split testing and hundreds of cleaning companies is actually develop the best practice for a cleaning business. So that's what we're going to be diving into. Tom and I are going to basically give you the roadmap to build your own automations on Made Central. And if you need some help, obviously Simple Growth will be there. But Tom, starting out, I just really want to thank you and your team. I believe your onboarding specialist was Rebecca over there at Made Central. And really, if you haven't looked at Made Central and you have a cleaning business, probably doing $1 million and beyond, it's really something to look at. The onboarding process was first class. I went through it as a cleaning company myself several months ago. And Tom, I got to tell you, really, really impressed. First class organization over there, and the way they brought it on, you could tell the software and the people supporting it and onboarding it understand the industry because they've been in the industry, they're still in the industry, and that is very uncommon. So I don't know if you want to speak about your onboarding process on a very high level and some of the things Made Central does, because not only are we going to talk about in this webinar what we can automate, but if you haven't shifted to a CRM for your cleaning business, this may be a great webinar for you to check out Made Central as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is this integration will certainly create more value for anybody who's a Made Central partner, because once the integration is set up, it's like these extra campaigns that Simple Growth builds and manages. They just kind of run themselves. It's like no extra steps really involved. It's when you're doing activities where you're getting a new lead, or you're doing a one-time job, you would want them to become a recurring customer, or somebody leaves and you want to try to get them back on. You can set up campaigns. Mike's people can set up campaigns that will market under all those conditions, and it just kind of happens in the background. You don't have to think about it. And that's free money, really, because some of those will one day wake up and say, you know what, I do need my home cleaned every other week, or I do miss having that professional cleaning company come clean my home. And that's really the power of what we're doing here with this integration. As far as the onboarding is concerned, yeah, we're very proud of our team. We've invested heavily within the residential cleaning industry, and have for years and years, really, training, consulting, even before we started, licensing Made Central in a really big way. And we're committed to, helping professional cleaning companies be successful. And part of that is having a strong team on the onboarding side, as well as the ongoing support side. We've got developers that are constantly producing new features that we're rolling out. If you're listening to us, I'm sure somebody who's using Made Central. Ask them. There's neat stuff coming out all the time, just like the integration we're talking about here with Simple Growth. So if you're not using Made Central, if you've got, especially if you're interested in these sophisticated campaigns that Simple Growth can provide to you, this is kind of an opportunity to get the best of both worlds, because we can bring you onto Made Central, and you can leverage the value of Simple Growth campaigns all at the same time.
Yeah, awesome, Tom. And this is probably the first API that we've actually done with a company in the cleaning industry that actually has a really full built-out API. So, Tom, your team, Mark over there, was great with our developers and be able to go in and iterate and test these things. So this is something that's been put in now to about 3 or 4 Made Central instances, tested over the last month. We know how it works, how it should work with people coming in as leads and clients. And what we're going to do on the webinar is actually talk about the 5 stages of business and how to automate through lifecycle marketing to overcome them. And as you scale to $1 million and beyond, some of those things is figuring out your sales and marketing systems. How do we acquire more leads? How do we upsell our current client base to raise the client lifetime value? Even if you've gotten through those in a manual process and just literally grinded through it, those things don't go away as you hit $1 million and beyond, as we're starting to work on people and systems and leadership and culture. So the idea here is we're taking the exact system that I built in my 7-figure business, service business, and we've literally gone in with the experts like Tom and many others to build a system that works perfectly for the cleaning industry. So I'm really excited, Tom, to show everybody this roadmap that they can actually build. And if they need some help, obviously we're going to be there. We're going to have some specials for anybody who shows up to the webinar to take advantage of a turnkey system. But really, we're going to show you how to build out that fully automated cleaning business on Made Central with this integration. Tom, we've got probably about 18 to 20 separate services right now alone in our upsell package with complete marketing copy written. I was pulling my phone up to see if I could grab a list here, but I can't get it to refresh. But we're going to be going over some of that right in the webinar, so you can actually see how to automate it. And then some of the services we recommend going in. One of the big ones, Tom, over at Castle Keep, is I'm sure one of your businesses there is a one-time to reoccurring. So if we go out for that deep clean and we don't have a reoccurring weekly or biweekly or every 3-week clean after that, those automations automatically kick in based on the status of what's going into Made Central and upsell that process with best practice over communication and timing. So those are some of the things we're going to be diving into in this talk.
Yeah, and the important part of that is, and anybody who's run a business has experienced this, that you've got as part of your strategy, like we want to reach back out to those one-time cleans and try to upsell them to become recurring clients. But if you don't have the tools in place, the automations in place to do that, things happen, somebody calls out sick, you have some emergency you need to tend to, and the next thing you know, you look up 6 months from now and ask the question, how come we haven't been doing that? So you don't have to worry about it if you automate it. There's so much that we do in Made Central already that does that, and this just kind of takes it to another level. That things happen even if you're not paying attention to it. It's just going to happen because the system is set up to make it happen. And we're going to do a really a deeper dive on this next, I guess tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern time. And Mike, you're going to like have a deck that you can share and kind of go into detail how the simple growth campaigns create value.
Absolutely. I didn't want to give all the secret away today with the preview, but yeah, we're actually going to have a flow chart. We're going to dive into over $1 million worth of teaching that I've learned in actually the 5 stages of business and how to take those bottlenecks where your business is actually stalling out and losing money by not having those holes in your sales pipeline plugged, and how to automate it. But we're literally going to go right from the Made Central booking form, or somebody going in from your office, entering them into Made Central, into the estimate follow-up, a welcome and wow sequence. How do we welcome those new clients into your business and acclimate them? What are all the things we should do to follow up to make sure they're happy and actually get them out to get you those good social reviews? What happens if they're not happy? How do we go out and create better customer service? And then go in and nurture them through different processes like newsletters and different warm-ups as far as education around the services they should be doing in their home. Say, for instance, around the holidays, maybe we're talking about best practice for cleaning out the fridge or cleaning the stove, and we're providing content and nurturing them. And not only are we looking at people potentially that are clients, but maybe leads that haven't signed up for the services, as well as people you may want to talk to that have canceled your clients, especially around COVID here in the last few years. 80% of those people that have canceled your cleaning business were indifferent. They didn't love you. They didn't hate you, but maybe some things out of their control, like they lost their job and they just couldn't afford you. They're probably, self-esteem's probably hurt a little bit now. Pride-wise, they're embarrassed to reach back to you. So let's get them in there. Let's nurture them, provide some free value through education, and then at the right time, circle back and reactivate them. And then the final thing, Tom, my favorite is really going to those upsell campaigns, going out in that one-time reoccurring and going out and upselling additional services around the holidays. Or if we're doing a reoccurring clean for 12 to 18 months, we should be upselling those deep cleans. And there's a whole lot more we're going to get into, but literally from stem to stern, we're going to show you an executable roadmap, how to automate your cleaning business with Made Central in this integration. So if not anything else, you're going to walk out after about 45 minutes, an hour with a clear blueprint with all the executable steps to take the existing automations and put them on steroids.
Yeah. Even if you don't use Made Central, even if you don't use Simple Growth, but if you run a cleaning business, you're going to have a deeper understanding at the end of this webinar in terms of the actual value you have in your customer list and your leads list. There's free money there that you can go out and get. And there's a lot of different ways you can do it. And Mike's going to kind of give you the playbook. And if you want to do it yourself, have at it. If you want help doing it, we're here to help. But regardless, if you're running a cleaning business, you really owe it to yourself to get a deeper appreciation for how you can get value out of your leads and all customers.
Yeah, Tom, you nailed it too. So even if you're doing this manually, which I don't recommend, but these are the things you need to be doing to break that million mark and go well beyond. And Tom, we'll probably talk about it a little bit tomorrow night, but at 6:30 Eastern is really why this is so near and dear to my heart. Is I was working at least 80 hours a week, if not more, in my service business, and that ended up causing a divorce. So my mission right now, really, along with the Simple Growth team, is to give people the roadmap to take their life back from their business and buy that time back. So if you're running between 750 and $1 million and beyond, these simple processes we're going to show you that are really clean and can be executable after this webinar should take back about 35 to 40 hours a week of repetitive and mundane tasks that your staff is doing. Now you might say, "Whoa, Mike, we're not looking to get rid of our staff." And I'm not suggesting that. What I'm actually suggesting is taking those $15 to $20 hour people in your office, and let's get them starting to work on those $100 to $200 activities and start to buy that time back and engage more with our client base and continue to provide value and build that relationship. And that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. So we're really going to lift the hood on my 7-figure business, how we did it and how we've tested it and actually now use it with hundreds of cleaning companies with an industry-specific approach that's proven. So if you've seen me out on the road at QDS or any of the other cleaning events, you've seen me talk about this, but we're really going to open it up and show you how it can be done with Made Central and Simple Growth. Or if you're looking to build it yourself, obviously take a look at it, because it's going to really be a roadmap that you could walk away within about 45 minutes, know exactly where you need to be. And you might not be able to tackle it all at once, but we're going to focus on the biggest pain points to buy the most time back from the business owner or the manager. and then you'll have that roadmap to continue to grow and automate as you grow. So looking forward, Tom, to hanging out tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern. I know you've got a compressed schedule, but is there anything else that you want to tackle or kind of highlight before we get into it?
No, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. We're going to get into a lot more details on this, and there's, a lot of whys behind this in terms of, why it's important, just kind of follow up on your mission. I mean, we've been coaching cleaning business owners for over 20 years, and, there's a lot of success stories, but there's also a lot of sad stories. And a lot of the sad stories oftentimes are just founded in the fact that companies can't grow and they're having a hard time finding a way to be profitable. And, when you aren't profitable, you're creating bad jobs, you're providing bad service, and you're miserable. And a lot of the automations that we're talking about here is a step forward towards that. And, leveraging value out of your leads, out of your contacts. There's a lot more money to be had in the data that you have. What's the old saying? Data is the new oil. You've got a lot of data in your business. You need to be using that to the fullest extent. That's really what tomorrow night's about. And if you're able to do that, then the people that you do have in your organization, a dozen years ago, they spent their time printing pieces of paper and making phone calls and sending out emails. All of that's been automated now, or should be automated now, and they should be spending their time with customer service and coaching your cleaning technicians, building culture within your organization. There's so many more higher order needs that you can get from your leadership staff than doing these repetitive tasks that we can just make go away with automation.
Yeah, and like you said, Tommy, actually, it's probably a hiring tool as well, and an attraction tool for those key employees and team members you want to hire. Because let's face it, they don't want to be doing those things. So let's automate it and give them more fulfilling things that they can align with the culture and the mission and the vision of that business and drive that home. So, Tom, I can't thank you enough for your team on the Made Central team, your developers, and everybody else who onboarded us, just like a regular customer, to actually see what it looks like stem to stern, so we could actually make this integration, the process, the best it could be. So I'm really excited. This is a first-class integration, and your team has been nothing but helpful here. So I'm really excited to be able to show everybody this roadmap to automation. It's going to be 6:30 Eastern tomorrow. Click the link below if you haven't. And Tom, like I was saying, we've got 12 or 15 people already pre-signed up for this service because they've used it on other platforms, and they've grown and so much they've had to go to more of an enterprise software like Made Central. So hey, Mike, when you're ready, let us know. So we are ready. So I'm excited to show everybody the new version of these automations on Made Central.
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. Again, the link to the webinar is in chat. Just click on that and sign up. We'll see you tomorrow night at 6:30, and buckle up. It's going to be fun. Thanks, Mike. We'll see you tomorrow night, okay?
Absolutely.
Take care. Bye-bye.